Hello and welcome to TVC News at 7. I am Abosedi Adeniwa Jeremy. We are staying with developments from Rivers State, where Governor Siminalayi Fubara and his deputy Ngozi Odu may now heave a sigh of relief following the House of Assembly's withdrawal of impeachment proceedings against them. The move marks a significant turn in the long-running standoff between the two arms of government. We have details in this report.
Weeks after uncertainty over the fate of the administration, the coast now appears clear for the governor and his deputy to complete their tenure. The legislature's decision to step back from impeachment follows another round of intervention by President Bola Tinubu. All parties were reminded to honor earlier reconciliation agreements as a condition for lasting peace.
Members unanimously agreed to halt the impeachment process against the governor and deputy governor following the intervention of the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Mr. Speaker also highlighted the terms of the agreement. Number one, which is that all previous agreements entered with the House and the governor will be kept by the governor, the deputy.
While the move is expected to ease political tensions in the state, lawmakers were quick to warn that any further breach of the 1999 Constitution would not be tolerated.
We also agreed that all infractions against the Constitution and laws of Rivers State will be remedied, and that the governor and the deputy governor will not continue with any infringement on the Constitution and laws of Rivers State, amongst other matters agreed upon, which there will be no need to give further details. But what is important is that we have agreed to hold the impeachment process. Those in favor.
The House noted that as a sign of commitment to peace, both sides have also filed notices to withdraw all pending impeachment-related cases before the courts. Uche Okoro, TVC News, Port Harcourt.
Public affairs analyst Alesta Wilcox joins me live on TVC News at 7 for more. Mr. Wilcox, impeachment proceedings against Governor Fubara and his deputy suspended. But does this signal a final resolution of the political crisis that has rocked the oil-rich South state in the last 28 months?
Thank you for having me. Because I'm involved as a bona fide Rivers son, because I'm involved, I'm happy that you're bringing me here to come and discuss this issue. If you ask me, I will always tell everybody to be cautiously optimistic. I listened to the tone of the speaker and his cohorts, and the tone does not signify returning back to status quo. The tone still reflects that of an antagonist who is always trying to use a certain instrumentation of the law as a basis of doing what. So I would have expected that there should have been a clean break without making reference to any of those past activities. Remember, this is suspension number 3 of impeachment. This is the 3rd time the House of Assembly is coming up with suspension of impeachment. And so, as far as I'm concerned, I don't think this is uhuru. It's just that we have to be cautiously optimistic and to see if how the days are ahead provide, because they've already given some provisos, some warning signs. And of course, you know that the House of Assembly is not House of Assembly of Rivers State of Nigeria. It's House of Assembly of their paymaster, their godfather, Minister Jason Wike. So any day the minister pulls the string, they might go back to square one. So I'm optimistic, but I'm cautiously optimistic.
Well, that is the term that you have called it, Mr. Wilcox. But it does appear, I mean, we are beginning to see Governor Fubara make some concessions. We're hearing about drawing up a list of commissioners he intends to present to the Assembly for consideration. Just how sustainable do you suppose this friendship, or call it unity or cohesion, is?
To say that Governor Fubara has made concessions at all at all points. And let us be fair. Governor Fubara has made concessions at all points. Remember the very first agreement when he has to return all the commissioners that were sacked, recognizing House of Assembly members and all that. He had made that concession. Of course, it was short-lived. And then the second time too, he made a series of concessions. He called them for a meeting and all whatnot. And then they were insisting that except they present a new budget in which they are expecting that a 1 billion naira constituency allowance will be given to them, that there will not be peace. And that was the basis, the genesis of this second impeachment, this third impeachment. So we are looking at a people that are never satisfied. I'm not holding brief on any side, but I'm looking at a people that are never satisfied. At all points, they are pushing the goalposts harder. Now, listening the wordings of the speaker, he said, provided that the governor does not constitute to breach the constitution of the land and the laws of River State. Now, who determined breach? It is still within the whims and caprices of the assembly to determine what is a breach. So they can always, with the prompting of their godfather, they can always start something.
But
and
Mr.
then
Wilcox,
they tell you that this is a breach.
I hear you, Mr. Wilcox, but you also know that this is agreement, and some will tell you agreement is agreement. So if it doesn't serve, or if either party feels, it can't abide by the dictate, don't you think that from the scratch it should not even move on? But then moving away from that, now that these political gladiators appear to be on the same side, what should we expect in terms of service to the people of Rivers State?
If there is goodwill on the part of the legislatures, and you see, everything lies with the legislatures. At this point, the legislatures are those that will either make River State governable or ungovernable for the governor. Look, this is the third time the president has waded in. And of course, if the and I keep saying it, please mark my word, the tone of the legislatures does not give credence to any final resolution. They are still saying provided, unless, that was the same tone that they used during this third impeachment saga. The same tone. So, but we're expecting that every party will come at a point where, okay, let's start on a base level. Don't be mentioned referring back to previous unimplementable agreements. There are so many agreements that could not be implemented as to why the governor reneged or why they reneged. There are so many executable agreement that they've reached. You cannot say agreement is agreement if you say let us go and steal, and you say and we agreed, and I turn back tomorrow. It's an illegal agreement.
All right,
Not all agreement is impossible. So let us plead with the legislators that they should serve River State and not as an individual, and work with the governor in order to bring about the much needed development for the Rivers people.
I hear you, Mr. Wilcox. We'll wait to see how the implementation of this latest agreement turns out in Rivers State. Alester Wilcox, thank you for your time on TVC News at 7.
Thank you very much.